Welcome back to another video with flyfishingwithjeff.com, and guess what? I am not fly fishing today. I am wild ricing here in northwestern Wisconsin. This is my very good friend Connie.
Hey y'all!
And Connie has a last name at Stroman, and she has a husband named Doug, who's kind of a cantankerous guy just like me. That's why we get along so well. And we're out here on the Minong flowage, and we're wild ricing. The Minong flowage is actually the Totogatik River backed up, and we are up at the very top of it. And if you watched us last year, it was my first time last year. We did it a couple of times last year, had a blast. Do you remember how many pounds we got out of our 2 trips?
I think we ended up with, wasn't it like 13, 14 harvested? I mean,
yeah,
processed?
Let's say right at 14 to 15 pounds of harvested rice. And now the rice is going to come in, as you can see here on the floor, and it's got all kinds of chaff and etc. And then it's got to be processed. And I had the privilege of taking it to the processor last year over east of Hayward, Wisconsin, and they showed me the whole process, and it was extremely interesting. And it's takes a long time, frankly, to get through the process. So I'm not sure what a bulk pound, whether you get a half a pound for a bulk pound. I really don't know. Probably not even that, but
so you usually get half of what you bring in.
Half of the yield.
Yep.
Well, either way, this is quite the place, and I just love it. I'm going to have a slide up here for you that I took just the other day up at the river just north of us up here, and it's going to talks a little bit about Manoomin. Manoomin being the native word for wild rice, or the bread of life, so to speak. And I think I learned not very long ago that Fort Avoyelles, probably saying that wrong, but it's right down here, not very far from us. That was the French term for wild rice. And so if you're ever up in this area and you want to have an old, very old experience, go to Fort Avoyelles, and they do all kinds of this stuff. It's where they have a big rendezvous each year. So as you get out here, I'm going to pan around. You can just see how beautiful it is out here right now, and everything will be copacetic and beautiful as long as we keep the canoe upright.
Yeah.
which is my job.
That would not be good.
But if you've done some canoeing, this is a little bit different. So we're trying to miss the logs and other things, and I have a push pole here that I'm also using. Got about half the lake crawling on me right now.
Great. But
it is just an absolutely, wouldn't you say this is the perfect northwestern Wisconsin day?
This is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
63 degrees, sunny. I know everybody, my folks back home, like our kids in Indiana and the rest of you, get tired of hearing it, but you know, it's all right if it snows 3 or 4 months when this is what we have the rest of the time. And this is what we have. We don't get the heat, we don't get the humidity, but we're just, so that's what we're doing. We are out here, no hurricanes.
No hurricanes.
Don't remember a tornado in recent memory, but anyway,
Not lately.
that's what we're doing. We're harvesting wild rice. And there was a pretty big critter right there, whatever that was. Yeah. would you give them just, tell them when we come back, we're going to sweep up the wild rice, and we're going to put it in what I call a white gunny sack. I'm not sure if that's what it is or not, but we grew up with gunny sacks in southern Indiana, and we always put potatoes in them. Tell them what you'll do with the wild rice after that.
So once we sweep it up and get it home, we'll spread it out on a tarp and let it dry and let the bugs and the worms and everything crawl out of it. And then once it's good and dry, which is, you know, a few days, then we'll take it over to Hayward and have it processed.
Yeah, and I understand the birds like the wild rice. They like to pick at the bugs and such like that when
Absolutely.
it crawls out. So that's a good thing. Yeah, so basically we got the raw stuff coming in. Connie's going to take it, put it on a tarp, let it dry, let the sun do its job. And then we'll take it to the processor. And that's a few steps actually that they have to take it through. And when Connie gets it back, it'll be in the form of wild rice. Yep. And just let me tell you, if you haven't had wild rice, figure out how to get wild rice. First of all, come up here to Lake Superior at some point during the year and just enjoy the largest surface area lake in the world. It's something else. Buy you wild rice, you'll see it at many places. Give it a go. I think it tastes almost more like meat than it does rice. It's so not gamey, but bulky, and it's got so much flavor to it. What's one of your favorite wild rice recipes? Not a recipe, but what do you like it in? How do you like to have yours?
My grandma always, and it's been passed down, it was a tradition at Thanksgiving. So it's like rice and homemade stewed tomatoes and mushrooms and onions and cheese.
Whoa, hang on, stop.
It's just the side dish, it's amazing.
My lunch was actually a breakfast I've already trapped today, so that was a long time ago. That sounds so good. And we have another friend, Dave and Diane Stabino, and Diane is quite the cook as well, and she makes it, I don't know what she calls it. Is it gruel? She calls it something that she puts the wild rice and sausage, and oh my gosh, she's got to make that soon. And I told her we're going to have it on soft tacos, burrito style, with salsa and all kinds of good stuff. So anyway, if you haven't experienced it, get out and do it. And again, I don't work for the Northwestern Wisconsin Visitor Center or transportation system or anything. I'm just telling you, it's great. Come up here during the summer. Come visit Hayward.
Can you see a pile of this? Doesn't
it
look like deer hair?
Sure does. So that's the bulk stuff, and you can see all the little hairs that are on there. And that's the stuff that will, I think the term would be winnow away. My grandma used to do some wheat that way, and she would winnow the chaff.
There you go.
And but anyway, that's what we're doing. So anyway, I'm glad you came along. I want to shout out, if you look up right over the top of Connie's noggin, you'll see our good friends Colleen and Doug Schneider, and they own this beautiful place up on top of the hill, and that's where we have I portaged my canoe into it yesterday, and that's where it's staying until wild ricing season is over. So thanks to those guys.
They have blessed us.
They are awesome people.
Yes, they are.
So that's the wild ricing for this year of 2023. And if you have any questions, you know how to do it. Throw a comment below, or go to www.flyfishingwithjeff.com, and this will be on my website as well, and you can put a comment there, or you can send me a question via flyfishingwithjeff@gmail.com, and I'll do my best to get back to you. And it looks like I may have to go to the push pole to get us through the rest of this part right here.
We dump enough rice overboard that it reseeds and
Yeah, I hope we don't dump any rice, but now you can see we
Just
kind of had to
natural.
go to a push pole here. And I kind of feel like I'm in Venice doing a gondola type thing, and I could start, I think I sang a little bit last year, like "O Sole Mio."
Right?
"O Sole Mio." But that's probably about as far as you want to go, because I'm a way better fly fisherman than I am a singer. So anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this video. And again, hit the like button, subscribe, come back, and join me for another adventure with flyfishingwithjeff.com. Say goodbye, Connie.
Hi!
A little postscript from our wild ricing event here with Connie. If you can see at my feet here, if I take the paddle, look at all that wild rice. Now there may be a wild ricer out there and goes, "Well, that isn't very much." Well, it is for us. We're doing fine. We're moving around here and enjoying the weather. And I've been able to do this using my canoe paddle versus the pole, which is a lot easier to move through here. So I just wanted to kind of throw this in on the end and let you see. We're about, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or an hour in, and I guess we'll have to stop when the canoe starts overflowing, right, Connie?
Wouldn't that be a great
Yeah,
day?
that'd be a terrible thing. I know that Doug probably will get all frisky if we get up there with too much extra, because he told me we had to give him his cut to the big guy. I told him I was the big guy. But anyway, that's what we're doing. Here it is. You can see it all right down there. And in fact, if you watch as Connie's doing that, it's kind of neat to watch it kind of flip in there. So, wow, what an awesome resource to have available right here at in our backyard, so to speak. So there you go. That's the update.